This is the Washington Times front page for Thursday, May 26, 2022. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Stories have begun to emerge about the lives of the 19 children and their 2 teachers who were shot and killed behind a barricaded door at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. Vincent Salazar said his 10-year-old daughter Layla loved to swim and dance to TikTok videos. She was fast. She won 6 races at the school's field day, and Salazar proudly posted a photo of her showing off 2 of her ribbons on Facebook. Javier Cazares' 9-year-old daughter Jacqueline also lost her life. She was with a group of 5 girls, including her second cousin Annabelle Rodriguez, who formed a tight group of friends. All of the dead were in the same 4th grade classroom, where the shooter barricaded himself and opened fire on the children and their teachers. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said at a news conference that the 18-year-old gunman used an AR-15-style semi-automatic rifle in the attack. Valerie Richardson reports the shooter, Salvador Ramos, had no criminal or mental health history. In the half hour leading up to Tuesday's attack, however, he sent 3 private Facebook messages, paraphrased as, "I'm going to shoot my grandmother, I shot my grandmother, and I'm going to shoot an elementary school." The gunman was fatally shot at the school by an agent with the Customs and Border Protection's elite tactical unit that breached the barricaded classroom. The agent's name has not been released. The massacre comes as the National Rifle Association convenes its annual meeting Friday in Houston, putting the gun lobbying group under the microscope. Kerry Pickett reports massive protests are expected outside the George Brown Convention Center in Houston. It's the group's first national meeting since COVID-19 shut down the annual event in 2020. The NRA says the convention will proceed as planned and pledges to fight harder for better school safety. Democratic leaders say tougher firearms laws are better answers to the killings that are happening more frequently in America. They have proposed several laws which have failed to pass Congress, including universal background checks, banning military-style assault rifles, limiting magazine capacities, and establishing a federal firearms registration database. You can read all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also check out our entire roster of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. Prosecutors with special counsel John Durham's team have rested their case against Hillary Clinton campaign attorney Michael Sussman. Jeff Murdoch reports they showed the jury Sussman's billing records in which he charged Clinton's 2016 campaign for the time he spent at the FBI peddling a story about Donald Trump's links to Russia's Alfa Bank. Sussman is charged with lying to the FBI by telling Bureau lawyer James Baker during a September 2016 meeting that he wasn't working on behalf of any client when he pitched the false story. Top officials at the Food and Drug Administration admitted they took too long to respond to an infant formula shortage and were hobbled by bad decisions and problems related to COVID-19. Susan Ferricchio reports FDA Commissioner Robert Califf told the House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations that government regulators made mistakes along the way that led to prolonged formula production problems. Califf said a key whistleblower report from a fired employee of a Sturgis, Michigan plant that cited critical safety violations was lost in the FDA's mail system. That Abbott Laboratories plant was closed in February after infants were sickened with bacteria after consuming formula produced at the facility. And finally, President Biden faces sharp criticism from within his own party over his struggling Iran policy. Joseph Clark reports Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman Bob Menendez is pressing the administration that its attempt to restore the Obama-era nuclear deal is not in America's best interest. Menendez said during a committee hearing that the administration has miscalculated Iran's posture and specifically misjudged the extent to which Iranian negotiators would be willing to return to the 2015 deal. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search WashingtonTimes.com in your favorite podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.